Hi everybody, today I'll be telling you about Myanmar. I'll be brief. If you only have like 3 minutes of time and you're thinking about the route, well, this was our route, briefly. First we went to Yangon for a couple of days, then we went to see Inle Lake, took us 2 days. Then we spent 3 marvelous days in Bagan, and finally 2 days in Mandalay. So 9 or 10 days in total. Okay, so we came to Yangon. We didn't know much about Myanmar. We decided to go and see Shwedagon Zerida. That place is super awesome. It's got good atmosphere. I'd suggest you to go there and just try to embrace the feeling that will come to you. Observe local monks, listen to their singing. The atmosphere is really incredible. It's good to come at the dawn when a lot of things start to go down inside. There's a lot of action going on. They burn candles and there are a lot of monks. The atmosphere is truly great. It's an absolute must-see. Talking about the food, we were kind of worried about it. Sveta managed to find a decent restaurant joint, so we tried it, and we thought it was awesome, and it has become our favorite. You'll find a link to it in the description. You'll find a lot of info in the description actually. You'll find it all below. I'm just gonna give you the visual content and talk over it. If you need details, you can always go and see the links down below. Alright, so what else should you see in Yangon? There's a very nice museum over there. Every time I try to remember what I like most about Myanmar, I think about Shwedagon and the museum. The museum really gripped me. There were very old kind of teeth, you can touch a lot of interesting objects, there are even mammoths. A lot of facts about the history of Myanmar. It's a 5 or 4-story building with plenty of things to see. You're definitely gonna like it. I strongly advise you go there. There are also things that create a sort of wow effect, like there's an ancient throne on which the king used to sit. Okay, so then we flew to Inle Lake. And by the way, we always travel by plane. The Inle trip cost us $110 for one. When you come there, you should definitely order a hotel transfer, because if you don't do that, local taxi drivers will charge you thrice the price. Because it's not like you're landing on the lake. You need to get there from the airport, because the road takes about 1 hour, which is a pretty long way. So we got to the lake and there was a nice restaurant over there. The link is down below, check it out. Talking about hotels, we saw a lot of comments where people were complaining about the poor service, but I want to reassure you that we haven't seen any of that. There was always electricity, hotels were always nice, maybe we were just lucky to find the proper ones. So it was very comfortable. We liked it. So I was saying, we found a great restaurant, the food was nice, which kind of made us confused a little, because we thought that it wasn't going to be that good. That was unexpected. We asked the locals what we should see, and they gave us the map with all sorts of attractions. So we studied the map, and it turned out that there was a winery, there was a stall, and a water village where the locals live. Right on it. Okay, so we got ourselves a car, we rode around, and the first thing we did, we got to some cave, which we didn't even like that much, so I won't recommend it to you. So if they tell you that you should go see a cave, don't believe them. It's crap. And our next stop was a stall. I think it was some kind of a horse farm, but I'm not sure what that was. Anyway, not even all that interesting, so I suggest you skip it. So I'd say you shouldn't even bother going there. There's plenty more to see. Okay, so basically once you get there and you're kind of trying to figure out what to do, the point is that you get a boat. And once you get that boat, you can get to the winery and Talking about the winery, well, we liked it. It was very nice. And you come there and you can grab a bottle right at hand, or you can test it. They bring you 4 different kinds of wine. Sveta tried each and seemed to enjoy the ultimate wining experience. So we checked out one of the local villages, made a few photos. It was pretty nice. So the first day on the lake was good. We really just started to feel like we began to enjoy Myanmar. But the best part was on the second day of our stay. We grabbed a boat in the morning and took off. We knew it was going to be cold because it was 5 o'clock in the morning and we were going pretty fast. We wanted to make sure that we see those odd fishermen who have a special kind of rowing technique and they catch a fish in a certain way. Very interesting and peculiar. So we managed to make a video of a fisherman at work. Check it out. It isn't the type of fisherman you see in Sri Lanka, who try to make a scene and a big deal of what they do. No, these guys are just catching fish. It's a straightforward routine. So we made a few photos and went further. And so what happened next gave me the kind of thrill I've never experienced before. I had a lunchbox and ate the croissant, but didn't eat the sandwich. So what I did was I saw the seagulls and I thought that instead of making photos, it would be great to feed them. So feeding them a sandwich was one of the most interesting feelings I have ever experienced in my life. I was throwing them pieces of bread and it made me feel like a child again. I never was quite so happy in my life, I think. I didn't think it was possible. It just happened so naturally and it made me feel really happy. I think that the weather played a part. It was interesting because it was cloudy and partly sunny, and you could see the sun coming out of the clouds. It was very beautiful. So it was pretty incredible, I must say. So we saw the lake in the different nature settings. So that's cool. It reminded me of the Lake Toba in a way. It was also very cool. But I think this one was better. Now, what else did we see? We saw how they make cigarettes. I bought some straight away. We saw women rolling up cigarettes. I don't know what contents they put in, but the smokers always appreciate the taste. We also got a place where they make silk, and we got really interested in the process. The girl was using some intricate tool, which got us very excited. It was awesome. We also saw how they make knives. Those guys were hammering it down together. So we also saw the silver production process, which wasn't very impressive. But the way they make cigarettes got us interested. So we bought some and gave it to our friends, and they tried them and they liked the taste. So if you're a smoker, those smokes are a definite must-have. On our way to the island, we saw a very interesting woman, a granny more like. So she figured she's got that authentic kind of look, and so now she makes money simply by smoking cigarettes and letting people take pictures of her. So then we went on, made sure the place was worth visiting it. And even on our way there, you realize how cool that place is. So it was all very interesting. So to sum it all up, you look on the right, you see, young monks swimming, and then you pass by their dwellings, and it strikes you that these people actually live on the water surface. And that's just incredible, very unconventional. Like I saw a cat that looked at me with its sad eyes, because he knows that there isn't much where he could walk around. So we talked to some of the locals and they were all very positive. They didn't mind living on the water at all. You know, we went to the market one time to see what they were selling. And interestingly, they were all selling same type of souvenirs, same type of stuff made of wood and whatnot. So there isn't much you can choose from, all very limited. And talking about photography and making videos, you should remember, Inle Lake is different. It isn't like Yangon, it isn't Mandalay or Bagan at all. It's more peculiar. And we didn't realize it, but once we got there, we thought, wow. The good thing we bought a new camera. It improved the quality of our photos quite a bit. Now on this note, I would like to ask you, how would you like to watch our stuff? Do you want me to be in the shot, or do you like it when I show you videos and talk over these recordings? Do you like it better this way? So what kind of format would you prefer? Right, well, let's move on. Our boat trip was so long and so dense that we didn't even finish it. We were really tired. It was about 3 o'clock. We got out of the hotel at 4:30 or 5, and by 3 o'clock we were totally knackered. We were like, that's enough. Let's go back home. We're tired. It's kinda hard spending an entire day like that. We didn't have enough energy to keep on going. Anyway, on our way back, we came across fishermen again. Generally, getting back from home was a lot of fun. So it was a good trip. I advise you take it. Definitely a lot to see. So we had great time there, and on the next day we were off to Bagan. I checked out what they have to say about Bagan online, and somebody was saying that sadly there isn't a picture in the world that can resemble the true beauty of this place during the sunset. It's very hard to put into words how beautiful is that magical place. When the sunlight casts off the walls of the ancient temples, when the magic is in the air. It's a sort of feeling that you can only get here, at the rooftop of a 1,000-year-old temple where the history of the forsaken land comes alive. Right. Well, I can tell you that this guy is exaggerating. A little bit too beautiful, one should say. Yeah, it looks stunning, but that's it. It hasn't got that significant wow effect. The place is overrated. We saw the sunrise 3 times. We saw the dawn also 3 times. So we did that, and then we started to check out Bagan itself. I can certainly tell you one thing. Get a pair of proper shoes. Trainers. Actually, no matter where you go, it's always good to bring a pair of slippers and a pair of trainers. Because I really got tired of taking off my shoes. Every temple you enter, you must enter barefoot. Plus, you gotta take off your socks. I have you now. So you walk those cold, dirty temples barefoot. Then you put on your stuff again and move on to another temple. And there's nothing but temples in Bagan. It isn't much. Bagan has pretty good food. We'll tell you where you can dine. And the coolest thing is that you can get to ride an electric bike. And let me tell you, it's so cool. It makes no sound. It's so quiet. It's unbelievable. So you're on a bike among all these ancient temples. So awesome. You just quietly ride it. It's sort of a bit like when, you know, modern meets ancient. You check out these temples, you watch locals drive cattle. It was like, wow. And of course, at a certain point, it starts to seem a little tedious. So I just want to warn you that if you have some, you know, big expectations about Bagan, don't raise your hopes up too much. You may experience a feeling of frustration afterwards. Look, everyone says it's got awesome sunset and dawn. But the question is, from which point should you watch them? You need to find a proper spot. But when you get there, If you're late, then you might be disappointed to see a crowd and all the lovely spots will be occupied by tourists. Let me tell you about one place which a lot of people don't really like. I don't know why, frankly. I don't understand why they say that nobody should ever go there. We went there and it was great. It's called Bagan Tower. Many travelers and even our guide told me that in no way we should go there, that it's not worth your money. So it turned out to be the opposite. It's 100% worth your money. And here's another life hack for y'all. You come early in the morning, you buy a ticket for $5 to see the dawn, you look at it, then you leave, then come back again, give them the same ticket you bought in the morning, and they let you in to see the sunset. We think that it's the best place to make photos and videos there is. Why, you ask? Because you can see the balls closer, you see them rise. There are binoculars in which you can even see random people taking selfies. It's pretty funny. And by the way, if you're told that a ride on an air balloon costs $280, well, now it's $340. And we were willing to pay even $340, but we couldn't get in. It was all reserved in advance. I'd say it's a good idea if you book your flight a couple of months in advance. There was one ticket for $490, but that's kind of way over the line. I mean, $500 to fly a balloon. In Laos, we were doing exactly the same thing for $80, and it was cool. Definitely worth the money. But $1,000 for only the two of us to fly those things, it's a disgrace. Our whole trip cost us about $1,500, and here they're trying to make us spend $1,000 for a 45-minute joyride. That's just stupid. And I'll tell you the whole deal. The majority of those flying those things are old people, grannies and granddads from Australia, Europe, and US. Most of them are pensioners, and they can afford that kind of price. You won't see many youngsters flying those things. So in Bagan, Sveta took a cooking class for the first time in her life. She always wanted to learn to cook properly, and now was her chance, because we love the local cuisine. Salads alone are incredible. The way they cook them is incredible. You could eat them all your life, believe me. They taste exceptional. So you really enjoy eating them. Unbelievably tasty. It's so tasty, it's beyond belief. And so Sveta learned how to cook an avocado salad and a salad made of tea leaves. So if you're in a restaurant in Myanmar and you don't quite know what to choose, make sure you order a tea leaf salad, because it's super tasty. We found a place that we really liked, and Sveta, after she accomplished her classes, now cooks those salads for me, and we both like them. So she took those courses for $30 and they taught her how to cook. She mastered 2 types of salads, as I said before. They even taught her how to make a dessert. So there was a lot of food. Before that, we went to a market and saw a lot of natives, and we took pictures of them because they looked dope. It didn't enter our minds at first how cool it actually is to cook your own food. Especially this type of exotic cuisine. Definitely worth a try. So we found cooking to be very interesting, especially talking about the local type of cuisine. And talking about our cooking classes, we went to a restaurant called Bibo. The owner lady was so awesome. She was so cute. That's why Sveta decided to cook with her. She's so great. As a human being, as a teacher, as a friend, definitely check out her restaurant when you're there. So the next place we went to see was Mandalay. There was everyone saying we shouldn't go there because there's nothing to do, as if it's dirty and smelly and there isn't anything to see. Like getting a hotel is a trouble alone. To tell you the truth, the hotel we moved in wasn't very good, but the driver we had was alright. He took us to see various sites in the city, and on the next day we asked them to show us the outskirts. And if you want to know if you should go there at all, I'd say you could very well skip it. There's a lot to see, actually. A lot of monks. There's a bridge, and there were quite a few pagodas. So that was quite interesting. There's quite a few interesting things. But then again, quite a lot of not so interesting things. Things you should skip, and let me tell you why. Because the tourism is developing rapidly in Myanmar. Many attractions are corrupted. Like the feeding of monks, for example. It was a complete disgrace. Tons of people gather around to make photos and videos of monks walking to get food. You can just see it all on their faces. The face says it all. It's the expression of bewilderment. So, generally, if you're not some kind of special photographer, I wouldn't recommend going there. Right. Okay. So, then we came to some kind of ruined temple. The thing I liked most about that place were the children. Look at the lovely photos I took. It's a pretty interesting temple, but it makes you feel bored pretty quickly. But to see the children running around you joyfully is good. The thing I didn't really like was that there were a lot of little scams going on. It's like you buy a tour thinking that it includes the full hospitality, but they never tell you that there are extra charges for the transport, for instance. They never tell you that you're gonna have to pay for the carriage. Then you have to pay for a boat that's gonna get you across the river. And so to see anything at all, you are obliged to pay for the chariot. And there aren't any alternative options. Because walking might be kind of exhausting. And similarly, you can drive a car there, so you can let go the idea of taking a taxi straight away. We told our driver that we know about the whole deal, that he shouldn't leave us there, because we know that he can get us there. Like, we know that we'll have to make a little detour, but the point is that we can get there by car. We gave him a little extra money, and that was a good deal, because the boat trip alone cost 10,000, and it was a wise choice to tip the driver, because paying for this and that, the horses, that's a lot of money. So we came there, we had a look at a few temples. Those weren't bad at all. Definitely worth seeing. Like, the rural life in that area is incredible. I just want to say that I didn't really like that they don't give you much choice. Because if we never knew the deal, we'd be forced to get a boat first, then a carriage, and that wouldn't be so good. There's a whole conspiracy going on. Those carriages and taxi drivers are kind of like enemies, so they just make money, those guys with horses. They're like some sort of mafia. There was also a pagoda on the outskirts of the city. It's wide and huge, and it does have that wow effect. There's a huge bell that weighs many tons, many colorful characters walking around, so yeah, it's pretty awesome. So that place will definitely stick in our memories. We're glad we went there. It was pretty emotional. And then we went to a public place, quite well known by an average tourist. I'll show you the picture now. This is what you're expecting to see. And here's what it really looks like. A lot of people, a lot of tourists, everybody's a bit confused. All the photographers are armed with their equipment, but there isn't much to see, really. Many people with nice cameras, but no point to make photos. Look at this guy right here. It looks like he's out of it. Okay, and so That's why we didn't stay there very long. I mean, we have something to compare it with. We swam with whale sharks, we saw active volcanoes. We went to Sri Lanka, we saw Singapore. So putting the Myanmar on the same scale with all the other countries we went to, I wouldn't rate it too high. I mean, I'd gladly come back to Sri Lanka, but I can't say that about Myanmar. But if you're an experienced traveler, you're gonna like it. And you should be a fluent English speaker, because we haven't seen a single Russian-speaking person anywhere over the course of 10 days that we've been there. So that country is still young in the sense of tourism. There are a lot of misconceptions and false statements in the internet. You need constant updates on the subject because now it seems one way, but a year later things will change around here. Myanmar will be different in the matter of 1 year, because it's currently developing very rapidly. And it's best if you go there now, because with each year it loses its authenticity. It becomes more and more modern, and unlike the Inle Lake, it failed to preserve the essence of the place. And who knows, maybe it'll be gone soon. So Svet asked me where I'm putting Myanmar among the other countries, and I say that I can't really compare it to any other country. Myanmar has its own special kind of atmosphere. Myanmar has a lot to show. It conceals incredible things. But you shouldn't raise up your hopes too much, and again, you shouldn't think that it struggles, because it doesn't. There's no war going on. We've been to 4 different towns and didn't see anything even remotely close to a battlefield. If you're searching for the war, you're supposed to find military forces. It's all fine. Internet is here and hotels are being built. Maybe you didn't know, but Myanmar has some great beaches. It's just that we didn't go to see them because we weren't interested. Alright, well that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you like this format. I really try to tell you how I felt when I was there, and I hope you enjoyed watching my videos. So if you have any suggestions about the content, you let me know. Check out some of my other videos. The one about Sri Lanka, for example. And there are a lot of useful links in the comments. Remember to press the like button if you like the video, by the way. And this way, I'll make a note to myself that you like what you're watching. The only thing I wouldn't like you to mention is the war. I don't want any war talk in the comments section. War is not cool. So don't write anything because I will be deleting those comments anyway. It was your man Leo, signing off.